Hi everyone, Stepan here. I just got in a 15 plus 10 game. I actually started recording this time after I've queued for the game because I didn't want to wait long. Hopefully my opponent makes a move. Yeah, to answer some of your... Okay, he's playing. To answer some of your previous questions, my shorts are actually a bathing suit and it's not hearts on them, it's green frogs. They are not feminist. I got them because I didn't want to lose them. What else? There may be some noises because I'm at my parents' place and my dog is here and everyone is here and my opponent is playing the exchange Slav. I don't want to do this. Oh no! Okay, I'm just gonna go knight c6. Knight f6. Now he should go e3. I'm gonna go a6. So if you've seen my tournament game from Pula where I got this variation, my opponent played knight f3, I played bishop g4, and then after bishop e2 I took it because... Okay. What's wrong? I hope everything is okay with the video, by the way. Yeah, one more question about scheduling games. I want to answer that before I start thinking. I don't want to schedule games. I mean, I would like to schedule games, but I don't want to because that would give me a schedule, and currently I really can't afford to have one because I have too many things that keep happening, which I cannot decide about. So yeah, I don't want to schedule games. I'll just do them online like this until it becomes too hard to get a game, hopefully, if I get my rating high enough. Okay, so now the question is on bishop g4, queen b3, can I go knight a5, queen a4 check, b5, and can he then go knight b5? I know knight f3, I'm not sure about bishop d3 here. I think bishop g4 is correct. Bishop g4, the only thing that could worry me is queen b3. Bishop g4, queen b3, knight a5, queen a4 check, b5. Yeah, by the way, the reason you play a6 is so that you would have knight a5 and b5. So okay, wait, I have to concentrate. Bishop g4, queen b3, knight a5, queen a4 check, b5, knight b5, a b5, bishop b5, bishop d7, bishop d7. Yeah, this works because his knight isn't on f3 yet. Usually if the knight is on f3 you could run into some trouble, but I think it works here. I'm always, well, I'm never absolutely sure about these lines with queen b3, knight a5, because there are so many exceptions to when this works and when it doesn't. It's very hard to keep track of all of that. Okay. What else did I want to answer? Yeah, someone mentioned about the previous video that the idea with bishop b1 is common in the London with bishop f4, bishop f5. It's definitely not the same thing, because in this position you check with the bishop, so you don't have to commit your queen. That's different. Okay, he plays knight f3. Now I'm not afraid of queen b3 because I can take on f3. I could also take on f3 now, and once the queen gets to f3, I could play e6. I could also go rook c8, which is a normal move. Rook c8, he could go rook c1. He could also castle. Okay, so again, I have to calculate after e6. Can he go queen b3? And I think he can this time. So e6, queen b3, knight a5, queen a4, b5. Knight b5, a b5, bishop b5. I don't have bishop d7. I would have to go knight d7, and then I'm in trouble. Okay, I'm just gonna take on f3 because I like taking on f3, and because I don't want to play e6 just yet. And the main issue with playing e6 is that the knight could come to e5 in these lines after queen b3. So here, for example, I could go queen d7 if he goes queen b3. So it takes e6, queen b3. I have queen d7. He doesn't have knight f3. Okay, e6. I mean, yeah, had he taken with the g-pawn. Now in this case it doesn't matter. What else did I want to answer? I don't remember. There was another question I wanted to answer, but I can't remember it now. Okay, so I can either play rook c8 or bishop d6 or b5. I think b5 is not necessary and it's too risky. On bishop d6, he's probably gonna take stakes or play castles or rook c8. I think I want to go bishop d6 first to be able to castle. Just a second. That's mine somehow. It's mine, thanks. I mean, it's going to be boring, but it's an exchange Slav, so there's nothing I can do about it. Although the last one I played really wasn't boring. Okay, now castles or rook c8. I like castling first. That seems normal. He could go for knight a4 immediately, coming into c5. But the good thing about giving up my light squared bishop, even though that may seem strange, is that I'm controlling e4 and c5 way better. And the c5 is an especially important square. Because if he plays knight a4 here, and I go knight d7, then I'm challenging c5. And if he plays b4, so for example, knight a4, knight d7, b4 to make sure when he plays knight c5 he can take with the b pawn. I don't take, I simply go knight b6 and I jump into the c4 square, which has been weakened by b4. So this is a very, very common idea. Now here I could go rook c8, I could also go knight a5, threatening the exchange straight away. I'm actually not sure what he does about this. Knight a5, he could go bishop c2 or queen d1. However, knight a5 is a useful move, and queen d1 is a retreat. So knight a5, queen d1, rook c8, knight a4. Then I'm already preventing b4 basically, because if knight a5 comes with tempo, then he can never play b4 because knight c4. Rook c8 is also normal, but knight a5 is very tempting. Knight a5, I'm expecting queen d1. Rook c8, if knight a4, then b5. If knight c5, then knight c4. Can he go e4? I have to make sure he can never play e4 comfortably. And when my knight is over here, then I don't have as much pressure on d4. So knight a5, queen d1, rook c8. What can he do? I mean, I could just follow that up with b5 and go for knight c4. Okay, I'm gonna play knight a5 because even though it doesn't develop a piece, I think having this tempo is important. So this is a move I would like to play anyway. I want to get this position with my rooks on c7 and c8. So if I can get this with tempo, then that's good. I should also mention that if he goes rook to c2 in this position, I can go knight b3, even though once this rook moves, queen d1 is a tempo move because the rook is blocking the queen. And yeah, in this position, this is actually a great example of why a knight is just as good as a bishop, or in my opinion even better, because these knights are great for controlling all the squares. Okay, rook c8, normal. Knight a4, b5. Can he go e4? Takes. No, for now everything is fine. Oh, I didn't think about queen a4. He could go queen a4. I didn't see queen a4. I mean, it's not a thematic move, so that's why I didn't look at it. The queen doesn't belong on a4, the knight belongs on a4, so after knight c6 retreating, at least I'm going to have b5 with tempo again, so it should be okay. Okay, he plays knight a4. Wants to come into c5. So now I'm going to play knight d7, provoking b4. This was the plan. And after b4, I was thinking I can go knight c4. And I have a passed pawn. But it loses a pawn for now. So maybe I should start with b5. So wait. Okay, this is a critical position now. Okay, b5 and knight c5. Knight d7, he has to play b4. I go knight c4, threatening to win the pawn on c5. So he has to take it basically, and I think I play bc4, giving him 2-1 on the queen side, and I have a passed pawn on the c file. Or dc4. I mean, again, it's very hard to know which one works best when. So okay, b5, knight c5, knight d7, b4, knight c4. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it before knight d7 because I think this is a critical tempo. Okay, excuse me. I have a bit of a cold, so I may do this throughout the video. Sorry about that. I have 8 minutes, he has 12 minutes, that's no good. Okay. Knight d7, I'm just going to play quickly now. b4, knight c4. This was the plan. I want to create a weakness on c4. And he has to play b4, excuse me. I don't think there's an alternative. He could go queen c2. No, he couldn't. Because, yeah, he could go queen c2. He could go queen c2, but then I think I can just go rook c6, rook c8. Now we can see why the knights are good. Why the knights are better than his bishop. I'm not worried about queen h5, by the way. I have g6. Doesn't he have to play b4? Okay. Knight c4. Now, the difference is, if he takes my knight, I have a passed pawn. If he doesn't take my knight, it's a great knight looking at b3, and my other knight is coming in. I have two knights. And I can also try playing e5 and a5, undermining his knight. And he can never really undermine my knight. I mean, it's symmetrical pawn structure, so of course he could, but I have two knights, so I can just defend. Eventually, not when a6 is hanging. Okay, wants to take on h7. I don't really want to play f5, although f5 may not be a bad idea. So if I go f5, I'm preventing e4. I don't have e5 in that case, but I have ideas of rook f6 and rook h6, and then swinging my knight in, my other knight, f6 and e4. The safe move is g6, but then I'm killing my attacking ideas, I think. I think I like f5. Okay, f5 with the idea of rook f6. I am weakening e6. I'm giving him a target, but I don't really see how he gets to it. The only thing I have to be slightly worried about is a4 takes, and then rook a6, where I play rook c6, and he doubles up. So that's counterplay I don't want to allow. Because if I open up the position on the king side and play f5, then a4 is much stronger. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play g6. I don't want to risk too much. I mean, f5 was interesting, but then a4... If he's going to break open the position on the queen side, I want the king side to be at least partially closed. Of course, there are no dark squared weaknesses, because he could never get into the dark squares. This knight cannot go to e4. If he plays e4, then at least he has an isolated pawn, so... Although he could play e4 now. Takes, bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes. Okay, that's the problem in the exchange Slav. It's a symmetrical position, so you have to look at e4, e5, a4, a5. Okay, he plays a4. Now, I don't want to take it, because he's just gonna take back with the rook. So rook a8 makes sense, taking over the a file. Excuse me. So rook a8, if he takes on a8, takes. He doesn't have queen b2. So rook a8 makes sense, but do I have anything more useful? Can I play e5? Because as soon as he plays rook a6, I could go rook c6, and then he goes rook a1, and then he has the a file. So I'm thinking, if I don't do anything, he takes, rook a6, rook c6, rook ca1, he has complete control over the a file. So I'm thinking I need to go rook a8. So rook a8 takes, yeah. And if he tries to double, I'm not hanging anything, I think. Okay, so if he tries to double rooks with rook a2, then I'm just gonna go rook a7. No, then I cannot go rook a7. Aha. Because he takes the pawn for free. My rook is hanging. So I will have to go queen c6. But then he just exchanges on d7. Okay, oh, okay. No, he made a mistake. So let's look at this position. So here, if he plays rook a2, I cannot go rook a7 because he can just take. And if I take, my rook is hanging. And if I try to double with rook a7, he wins the pawn. If I play queen c6, and he, for example, plays rook a1, so my queen on c6 is defending on a8, so when takes, my rook is defended, he just takes on d7, and then queen d7, and then wins the pawn, because my rook is undefended, again. So he shouldn't have done this. a5 just makes it very easy for me. Now, I don't think my rooks have any purpose on the a file, or for that matter on the c file either, so I think I need a rook on e8 and a rook on f8. But is there any other way to improve my position before I do that? So now he needs to play for e4, I think. And I need to play for e5. So if he goes e4 here and I take it, he takes with the knight tempo on the queen. I do have queen d5 still because knight f6 is defended. And well, then he wins the pawn on c4. So if I go e5 now, so I'm thinking e5 or rook e8. So e5, if he goes e4, I take. We're trading pawns. If I go rook e8 first and he goes e4, then I don't want to take. Okay, I'm going to go e5, because if he takes, then I take with the knight attacking the bishop. If he doesn't take, I can go e4, which is a great attacking piece. I mean, my pawn on e4 would mean that I have a natural made attack and he doesn't still. I know I'm getting an isolated pawn, but I have to try and win. And if he's the first one to get in e4, then he's going to be the one attacking. And I have 4 minutes on the clock. If I could play e4, then f5, f4, all comes in naturally, and I have a splendid position. So, yeah. Now that we cannot undermine the knights with a4 or a5, it has to be e4 or e5, so if he ever takes here, then his knight is not defended properly. And if my queen were hanging, I could actually consider just taking on c5 first instead of on e5. Since my queen is hanging, I have to take on e5 and then either try to bring my knight back or start an attack. I think I wouldn't bring my knight back, and if the bishop moves, it's moving away from the diagonal, so that's great. And if it ever takes, then I take with my isolated d-pawn. This is a scary move for him. He just wants to defend his pawn. And what if I play e4? I'm just going to go e4 without thinking. This has to be the only try for an advantage. Because now, if he takes, my knight gets the d5 square, which is huge. If he takes the knight, I mean. If he takes on c... Okay, he doesn't take. Okay, what's wrong with f5, f4? And what I have to consider is, do I need my rook? Yeah, I actually couldn't have transferred my rook to e8 straight away because he just takes on d7, which I hope I didn't miss. So I have to be careful about that. So I need to move my knight first. So I'm thinking f5, knight f6, and then rook a7, and here. So f5, what can he do? If he goes f3, I can just take it, targeting e3. Okay, I have to play quickly. I'm going to play f5. I mean, I'm starting an attack, why not? I need to start stacking him. I'm already threatening f4. There's no doubt about that. And then f3. So he's the one who has to react. I think he has to play g3. And once he plays g3, my knight is coming in. I just need to figure out a way to come into f3 and h3. So I need to get my knight into g5. How do I do that? So I can do this. No. What? Okay, I need to play quickly. Knight f6 or f4. f4, he takes, queen takes. f4 takes, rook takes, actually. f4 takes, rook takes, but then queen d2, and if I go rook f8, he plays knight d7, knight d7. No, I'm a moron. He cannot go knight d7 and take on a6 because he's using the knight to take on d7. Oh. That's why it didn't worry me. So, do I improve my knight? Do I double my rooks or do I play f4? I'm thinking f4 has to be correct because I'm controlling d2. So if I go f4, takes, queen takes, I'm actually threatening knight d2, taking the rook. Because if the rook moves, I take on f2. Okay, I'm just gonna go f4. This has to be correct. Because I'm just threatening f3. If he doesn't do anything, f3, very, very scary. Should be winning, actually, if I get in f3. Yeah, he shouldn't have allowed e4. He just gave me too much space. Oh, why do I have 3 minutes? Oh, I'm always short on time. Okay, bishop g4. Okay, so knight f6 has to be correct. I don't see any other option. Okay, I'm just gonna go knight f6. He could go knight e6 or bishop e6, but I just move my king away or my rook away. Doesn't matter. If he goes knight e6, I actually should give up the exchange, I feel, because I have... No, knight e6, I take the bishop. But if bishop e6, king g7 or king h8. I still want to go f3. I mean, he's just helping me bring my knight into the game. I wanted to play knight f6 anyway, so I feel that this cannot be correct. Knight b7 loses a piece to queen e7. Knight e6 loses a piece. Bishop e6 doesn't do much. So yeah, I love my position. I think I'm probably winning here, but I'm not sure. Maybe there's a defense. It just seems that my pieces are way more active. And if he, for example, plays bishop to h3, I think I can just go g5. Okay, bishop e6. I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna go king g7. Now I have to be slightly careful about this opening up. So if this pawn can ever move, that's scary. So if he ever takes on c4 with anything, I'm just going to take with my b pawn to make sure this never happens. If I don't have issues on the dark squares, then I don't have issues in this position. Sorry about this. I caught a cold because they keep turning on the air conditioning everywhere, so you go in from hot to cold. I don't have any more coffee. Okay, takes. Okay, queen takes. Yeah, queen takes. I mean, I think I have to take. Or I don't have to take, but I want to take. I don't want him to defend. Now I need to be careful about a move like this, because he can take on d5, and as I said, I cannot lose this pawn, so I cannot lose the d5 pawn. But there could be some tactics with knight d2, and if queen c1, for example, then knight here, bishop takes, or knight here. So f2 is the weakness, also h2 is a weakness. So I could actually try to get rid of this bishop, although I can just get rid of it with rook e8. Rook e8, bishop moves, then I'm hanging on a6. And if I play knight g4, he has to take. No, he doesn't. He can play g3. My pieces are definitely better than his. Especially my rook, my queen. This knight is better than his knight, because I'm the one attacking. Oh, I have to be careful. Ah, I actually lost my d5 pawn. Ah, he has knight e6. Idiot. Why am I such an idiot sometimes? I didn't even see this. If he plays bishop d5, I have to play rook e8. Or I'm losing everything. I didn't see this. He has knight e6. I didn't see knight e6. He just needs to get rid of his bishop. I didn't see this. Oh, he didn't see it. Okay, so bishop d5 is just winning. Yeah, okay. Oof. Okay, he missed his opportunity here. I was losing the game. Okay, so how do I prevent this? So knight g4 I don't think works, because he plays g3. I could play queen back to d6, which seems the safest, because I'm defending e6 and d5, and I can move my a rook, so I like that. Okay, I have to play quickly. I'm going to go queen d6, because I just want to defend these two squares. Because now I can move my knight, I can double my rooks, I can play rook e8, threatening the bishop. I just didn't see bishop d5 there. So when he played ef4, I just cannot take, because bishop d5. So what do? I need to play here. I need to play rook a8. Yeah, I have to play rook a8 first, and then take. But then I'm losing the exchange. So rook a8, bishop h3, bishop h3, queen f4, knight e6, rook e6, bishop e6. Yeah, I'm not sure I can give up the exchange. Okay, what did he do? He played queen g3. Okay, I'm just gonna go rook d8. Because if he goes knight b7, I take. And then I go rook e8. Rook d8, knight b7, queen g3. Okay, I'm going to do this. Rook d8, knight b7, queen g3, hg3. Rook e8, attacking the bishop moves. Then I could go e3. I have to be careful about him moving the queen and then playing knight b7, but then I have queen e6. Also, if knight b7 here, I have queen e6. So I'm just an idiot. He doesn't have knight b7. I'm really not happy about this game. I'm playing poorly. I mean, allowing bishop d5 is bad. Also, allowing a4 is bad. So I think he was just better. Or allowing rook a2. He was just better. At 2 points, I think he had a close to winning position. I'm going to analyze that before we turn on the engine after this one. Okay, he takes. At least now my rook is in the game, and I don't think I can lose on e6 any longer, although I say that, and now he moves the bishop. I'm already hanging knight e6, so maybe I need to go rook e8 if bishop h3. And if bishop d7, yeah, he cannot do that. Bishop c8, he has to go bishop h3, I think. At some point, maybe not now, but... How important is it to get my knight into d3? Now I need to start thinking quickly because we are both left with only a minute on the clock. So I have knight b2 tempo on d3. But I don't really want my knight on d3, I want it on c4 because I have e3 ideas. If he ever plays f3, I'm gonna go e3. Because I want to keep my passed pawn. If he allows me to have one, that is. So bishop h3, rook e8, preventing knight e6. And then I have ideas of g5 and g4, or knight h5, knight f4, which I like. So bishop h3, rook e8, I need to defend against this. I just lost the exchange to knight b7. I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I think about this? Knight b7 wins the exchange. Wait, can he win the exchange? Rook c6? No, okay, he doesn't have a way to get rid of my knight. Okay. I saw some lines in my mind where he gets to play bishop d7 after rook c6. Okay, f3. He prevents knight f4, which is a good idea. I don't want to draw. Okay, let's try to trap his bishop with g4. If he... Okay, let's go g4. Now the bishop doesn't have too many squares. I've prevented... This is actually a plan I learned from Simon Williams in the Dutch, where he puts his pawns on the light squares playing against this bishop. If he wants to trade, that's fine, because then I have a passed pawn. Also, I could just take here and give my knight the d5 square. So if he takes, he's weakening d4, and I think I take with the knight still. Okay, with the d pawn, excuse me. Okay, I don't want to take en passant, definitely not. Can I go e3? No. Can I improve my king? Definitely. So I'm going to improve my king. Okay, a bit more. This is as far as it goes. So now at least I'm defending e5, so if he ever takes, my knight is free. Okay. That prevents knight to b2. So what now? How do I improve? I want to get my knight to c6, so I'm thinking knight d7, knight b8, knight c6, but then he can take on a6. I could also go knight h7, knight f8 to e6. I think I like that, because if he ever then moves away this rook, this rook, then I have here, I'm defending d4. So I wanted to get my knight here to attack both of these pawns. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Wait, f3, can he go f3 now? f3, I take, he takes with the bishop. Aha. Okay, so on f3, I just go e3. I'm still going to go for this. f3, e3. Takes here, I take with the king. I want to have this passed pawn. f4, okay. Now that cannot be good. Okay. I'm not giving him a take back. I don't think it was a misclick. This position is too complicated. Okay. Now I'm winning. I mean, it's time trouble, but I think I found a good plan nonetheless with knight f8. Yeah, I'm sorry that it finished like this. Maybe I should have given him the take back. Now I kind of feel bad. But okay, let's yeah, let's have a look at this position first. Wait. Okay, so here. Yeah. Okay, so wait, can you see the thing? Okay, let me just expand this a bit. Just a second. Okay, so this is the first critical position where after g6 he played a4 and I played rook a8. So if I don't play rook a8, let's say I do something, then he takes, plays rook a6, and if I go rook c6 he goes here, and that's complete domination of the a file. So I think I have to go rook a8, but then if I do go rook a8 he goes rook a2. Now, of course, if I go rook a7, he can just take, and I cannot take because my rook is hanging. So if I try queen c6, trying to defend my rook, and after this, well, let's say that I even do manage to double my rooks. Let's say somehow I manage this. He can still just take here. Ah, no, he can't because my queen defends. Okay, I was thinking I'm not defending a8. But yeah, okay, since I cannot double, it is about the a8 square, so now if I do nothing, he can still just take. And, no, takes here first. And takes and then takes. Although I could take with the queen. I didn't see that. But I still think this was the best idea. a5, I think releasing the tension has to be a mistake. And then I went for e5. We're going to check this with an engine, by the way. Then I went for e5 because I had to... because I have to start opening up the position, and he played queen c3, which has to be bad. This has to be bad. I think he has to take, and then I take back with the knight. Probably play something like bishop e2, and then starts putting pressure on this pawn, where I have to go for d4. Yeah, but after e4, I feel I have to be better. Bishop e2, f5, maybe f5, f4 was premature. Bishop g4, knight f6, bishop e6, checking g7. Yeah, now I just blundered. I played queen f4, and this is just winning for white, I think. I think bishop d5 and game over. Because, of course, if I take, then here. So against bishop d5, I don't even know what to do. I'm losing the exchange anyway, so the rook is attacked, and if I go here to defend d6, then it's attacked anyway. So I don't know. So okay, so he played here and I got back, so this is safe now. Queen g3, rook a d8 takes, bishop h3 takes, g3, g5. Yeah, after g4 I think I'm great, because I have more space. Improving my king, this is okay. And yeah, this plan with knight h7, knight f8, maybe too slow because of f3. So in this position, if he plays f3, I was going to go e3. And that's why I think it's fast enough, because if he does this, I could take with the king actually, or I was going to take with the king, but taking with the pawn is also interesting. I think I would have taken with the king to get away from the checks. But I have to be worried about this. Mate. Okay, so I need to go back. Yeah, this is a bit dubious. Taking with the king is dubious because I run into mate, but if I take with the pawn, then he checks me. I have to go back here, then he goes here. Yeah, this is not good. On f3, e3 is no good. But if I take, he takes. What do I do now? Because he cannot defend this pawn. Okay, let's run through the game with an engine and with the book. I don't want to waste too much time. Okay. Okay, bishop to d3, bishop g4. Yeah, e6 is the main move I took on f3, because I like taking on f3. Castles is best, he played a3. Okay, so now let's enable. Let's turn on the engine now. Takes, knight a5. b5 is a mistake. Okay, e5. Okay. Okay. I thought he had to play. He has a4. I didn't see a4. Okay, so if I go b4. Then he takes on d7. That's the problem. Okay. So I still need to go here. Okay. Okay, b4, knight c4, queen c2, g6. Yeah, I was thinking f5 to start an attack, but then a4 is really scary. g6, a4 anyway. Rook a8, blunder. Okay, so I was thinking rook a2. Yeah, but he doesn't have to react. So if he doubles... Yeah, my rook is defended by the knight, so it's okay. Yeah, but a5. e5 is correct, that's good. Queen c3 blunder, we knew that. Bishop e2, f5 is correct. Rook f1. Yeah, f4 is a mistake. f4 is a mistake. I need to improve my pieces first. I wanted to... Okay, I had 3 minutes here. I had 3 minutes. I wanted to threaten f3. Yeah, but I should really... I was such an idiot for thinking a6 is hanging. I need to play rook f7 and rook f8. Okay, f4 a mistake. Bishop g4. Yeah, and king g7 is a blunder because it allows knight e6. I didn't take any time here. So king h8 would have been much better. And now king g7, ef4, queen f4. Wait. Sometimes I'm a moron. I can just take it. Because I'm attacking his queen. I didn't look at this. I didn't look at it properly. I mean, I would have seen it, I hope. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Now it looks all fancy, like I saw everything, but I didn't see anything. I thought that bishop d5 loses. g5 is good. And g4 is good. Now the only thing I'm worried about is f3. Wait, what do I do if he plays f3? Okay, take and he takes, and what now? And just king g6. Okay, that is safest, I guess. Yeah, and then the plan could be rook f6. Wait, let's say rook f2. Okay, knight here. Takes. I would have taken with the d rook, I think. Here. Yeah, this seems about equal. I mean, I would rather have black, I feel. Because all of these are really hard to defend, but then again his bishop has a lot of space. f4. Knight e6 is a mistake. Why is knight e6 such a bad mistake? Because of bishop e4. Why doesn't this win? Okay, this is too much for me. I will have a closer look at this later. Yeah, but he just blundered. Okay. I mean, it wasn't a great game. I played poorly, and especially this part after rook a8 where I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah, okay. Thank you for watching. Hopefully see you tomorrow with a better game. This wasn't that good. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.